Welcome back, you guys. We're still in the new year as it is still January, and I want to talk more about starting New Year resolutions, right? And what can we start as a New Year resolution this year? Maybe it doesn't have to be something super cringy like losing weight or get more money or get a new boyfriend or get a new car, things that are kind of just a little bit more basic, cliche, so maybe we want to do something like a little bit more off the grid, maybe something that will actually last, because maybe you did have one of these goals that I just previously mentioned and you've already given up on like day 7. You're just kind of like, it was good for a week. It was a good run. Next. I think what we should really focus on this year is, any of those things are great. If that's your goal, that is awesome. I hope you stick with it and hire me as your coach, and you will. But I think it would kind of be a better idea to focus on something a little bit less basic and cliche that most people are probably trying to do and probably won't stick with, and do something a little bit more out of the box that's a little bit more authentic to you, and it might be easier for you to actually stick with, and it could be so much more fun, because the worst part about New Year resolutions is most of the time they're not fun. So coming up with something that's genuinely fun and exciting will motivate you to want to work on this thing. So I think rather than trying to come up with something, like I mentioned, I think this is also a great parenting technique also, as if I would know. But rather than trying to get your kid into all these different sports and stuff, basic things, get them into hobbies. And I think you should get yourself this year into a hobby. Whatever that looks like to you is totally fine, but just get yourself into that particular interest, whether it's playing guitar, whether it's dance, whether it's, I know I said not sports, but dance, it can go both ways. Whether it's like creating video content or singing, starting your Etsy store, writing a book, writing blogs, things I like to do. All I can think of are things I like to do at the moment. Fostering kittens. I don't know, something that is an interest to you, but not something that you were necessarily planning on doing otherwise, but it's something that does genuinely interest you. Why not make it a New Year resolution? Because even if it's not something that will get you money, maybe you're financially stable, maybe you don't really need to work on money or like gaining money or losing weight. Maybe you just kind of need something to just be like an extra little portal in your life to just kind of fill that void of boredom. Wouldn't that be nice? I know personally, when I get bored, there is no stopping where I will go, and it's not usually good. I just start kind of like festering around in all these different categories of just things that I should not be doing because I'm bored. Even my overeating tends to start with boredom because I'm just bored and I just feel not fulfilled. Is that not ironic? And I just start trying to eat to like fill that void. And I've noticed when I'm excited about something in my life, I don't even think to eat because I just feel so fulfilled. So what we need to start doing is filling this lack of fulfillment in our life with things that fulfill us, like hobbies, things that interest us. And it's honestly not that hard, I don't think personally, to come up with things. And it's so much fun. If you are struggling to come up with things, because maybe there are so many things that interest you that you can't even choose just one, because I don't think you should choose all of them at the same time, because because it'll never get anywhere. You kind of need to start with one thing and then just really focus on that and then add more when you have time. But also, maybe there is honestly nothing that interests you. Like, there is nothing. I've been in both of these positions. I have. I've been at the point in my life where literally nothing interests me. Nothing. I've also been at the point in my life when I have 1,000 interests and I just am so overwhelmed by having just so many interests. I'm like, how can I possibly... I can't even pick. Like, yeah. And I can help you with either of those issues. I can. I can help you get to the bottom of this, and together we can figure out what it is that you really do want to work on. Also figure out what it is. Yeah, I mean, either way. I can help you figure out what it is you really want to work on. Even if it's just hosting. That's a cool thing. I used to love just hosting parties and just having people over, and you could just be kind of like this social butterfly of your group and just start hosting things. And that's a hobby too, just throwing parties. Maybe you could start some sort of a business of some sort selling something and make it a business selling party. This is something I'm currently in the process of trying to figure out how to do. Yet again, I have 1,000 interests. Having so many interests is kind of a curse more than a blessing, because it's like, okay, I am interested in all these different things, and therefore I should be good at probably any of these things, and yet I can't pick just one of these things to focus on because I'm equally interested in all of them. Do you get me? Have you guys been there? Because it's terrible. It would honestly be easier if I was just interested in one particular thing that I could just solely focus on. But then there's also times, yet again, where I'm like, but literally nothing interests me. Nothing. Like with jobs, I'm like, I don't want to do... It's not that I don't want to do anything. Kind of. I don't want to do anything. But there is not one job that I'm like, that is what I want to do. I either want to do... Yeah. I'm just repeating myself, aren't I? Here's the thing, though. I always thought it would be fun to be a wedding designer. I always thought it would be fun to be a cheerleader. I always thought it would be fun to be a marine biologist. You know, my interests go on such a wide spectrum, and I just can't decide which path I want to take. But the thing is, I've noticed I don't really want to take any of these paths. I don't. What I genuinely want to do, which I have come to the conclusion through my own journey of life coaching, is that I want to be a coach. This is genuinely what I want to do. And it has taken me a long time to realize this, but it is what I want to do. And I've realized that everything that I want to do, for the most part, not cheerleading. Well, cheerleading is sort of like coaching. Marine biologist goes sort of with my wave aesthetic of this coaching brand. Wedding designer, maybe I'll switch to relationship coaching at some point. But you know what I mean? Like, all of these... Okay, not the things that I named. Those were like just examples for the most part. But I mean, I haven't like seriously considered those things, just kind of. But when I made a list of the things that I genuinely wanted to go into, and I actually have this list still. I should go over this in an entire another episode, because it'd be really interesting for you guys to see and hear about. But when I wrote down the things that genuinely interested me, it all kind of came down to coaching, which is so interesting. And this is what I would do with you guys, is help you figure out, based on all these things that you like, what the common denominator of all these things is. And it might not be something that you're expecting. It might be something completely different, but what would actually fulfill you. And it might be the way that, it might be the stepping stone that you need to take to get to the destination, because you're not going to get to the destination by chasing the destination itself. You're going to get to the destination by chasing all these stepping stones that it takes to get there. And all those stepping stones might not be what you think they are, but it might still get you where you want to go. If you are interested in a free discovery call to find out more about what this is all about, the link to the free discovery call will be in the description below. You can also find me on almost any social media platform for tons more free content at Make Waves Coach. You can also find me on almost any social media platform at Mermaid Kassandra with a K for more of my journey of following my own dream, which once again was not something that I had ever intended for my dream to be, and it kind of just took me into mermaiding. Whole nother story. It's fascinating though, and it's really cool. You guys would probably appreciate my journey if you want to check it out. You can also find my podcast, Make Waves Mermaid Kassandra, every place podcasts are found. I will be back in the next episode with more. I will talk to all of y'all, then go out there and make waves. Mwah.